Welcome, my friend, my brother, to your astrological transit forecast report and also my last report of the day. Let's get it. I'm so glad to see. Oh, thank God I caught that. So I put that you were born March when you're actually born May. I'm so glad to see that you're born 1990 because you and I are going through very similar transits right now. Let me find out you a Gemini. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? I remember you. Yeah, we've been messaging each other. I was about to say, the name sounds familiar, but I don't remember you being an Aries. What's good, bro? Holla at your boy. What's up, fam? All right, and you're an 8th house Gemini? It's a wrap. Okay, so we're both born 1990. We both have the same Saturn return. We both have North Node in Gemini. So let me just put you on game real quick. This whole Saturn return is geared towards us unlocking our supernatural powers that we've had since birth, but literally had to wait for our Saturn return because, as you can see, this Saturn authority is beyond our conscious awareness as Gemini to handle. And so this is going to be part and parcel of your entire transformation. You streamline these Gemini energies so much more purely than I do. So it's very much so an honor. You actually are the rare true angel, true messenger. You carry the true messenger archetypes. I'm going to give you this article about Superpower Wiki about angel souls. Okay, you're also an instrument of Pluto, or rather Hades. And so this allows you throughout with your Gemini energy to establish a transformation form into greater angelic power. A lot of what I'm saying is abstract because you're going to really define what this means as you represent energy that hasn't really been seen or understood in the way it has, because you have this authority over success and the world, hence Saturn being the world, that is now getting ready to activate itself more than ever. And so over the next 3 months, right, we're going from January, February, and March, which is going to impact Capricorn season, Aquarius season, and Pisces season, and a bit of Aries season if we get the end of March. And what's very important is at the end of March, Saturn and Mars will be 0 degrees. Of course, Saturn is going to retrograde back into Capricorn by June. But just understand, bro, this is where a lot of the limitations on our power finally get released. I don't know if you've ever seen Bleach, but like the Shinigami who were there weren't necessarily able to exert their full power in this third dimensional plane of existence because it could be too much. And so they literally had to ask for permission for their limits to be released. Gentei Kaijo. And this is what this is going to feel like. It's going to feel like an incredible weight has been lifted off of you. And like one way to kind of think of this, first of all, us being in the same North Node and Saturn means we came into the same incarnation plane from the ethers. So before we kind of, went to our perspective time and spaces where we were born in a hospital, all of our souls and spirits incarnated in the same plane, like airplane, if that's an analogy. And like we have the same generational influences. We listen to the same music. We had the same television shows growing up. So we're in that generational sphere of influence. I see you have Jupiter and Cancer. Dude, 1990 is it. Like we are the most powerful year. Okay. Because you will never see Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus here in Cap. Now, is it debatable? Yes. Am I biased? Yes. Is Gemini the best zodiac sign ever? Yes, because I'm being biased. All right, I really think it's Sag, but we're up there. So just letting you know, like, I'm so passionate about our energy because we're finally at a place in our lives, and this applies to like 89, 90, 91, those 3 years, 89, 90, 91, most powerful. Like, we're now at a place in our lives where we're going to be able to show people just how much they got us twisted. Just how much we're about to like transform everything and how we're going to shift the power scale to us. Okay. So important, especially for you that is going to have your Saturn return exact during the end of January. If I dare not say, yeah, the end of January. Now yours is retrograde. So I want to, I want to make sure that you're not going to have a retrograde back here. I believe it's going to retrograde back into like 28 degrees. Ooh, you got it. Ooh, look at that. So it does retrograde back. And then okay. So it retrogrades back where your Saturn is, bro. So this is your true Saturn return. September 30th, 2020. Cause it denotes for both, but you want to take the last one. Okay. So keep that in mind. Jupiter is going to be closer to here, blah, blah, blah. We do want to keep in mind the end of the month. Okay. This is where it really truly comes in initially. And this is going to be the beginning process of the bounds and releasing of energy that you're going to now be given control over. This is very important because when it comes to Saturn returns, in your case, it's like having a car that belongs to you, but you can't drive as a baby. So you have a chauffeur. And then now that you've come of age, the title and the car is given to you. It's always been yours, but now it's you. And the responsibility of that car beforehand, which was full insurance, is not there anymore. You have responsibility over this car and over all your laying abilities, which in the third house denotes for an incredible ability to do anything from telekinesis to telepathy. And see, you are bridging supernatural powers that people think are sci-fi because they can't do it, but you can. And so your eighth house ability to deal with others in such a truthful way takes the ruler of your planet Pluto on your rising and intensifies with such specific clarity how you derive truth directly from others, because the eighth house is other people. So keep that in mind, because the next 3 months out for you is the development of your attitude in Capricorn, the establishment of private knowledge in Aquarius, and the divine expression of creativity in your fifth house in Pisces, leading to the end of March that will integrate much of this greater original receptivity to your own health and routine into your lifestyle. And as a Gemini sun, this is going to take this greater evolution of your attitude and be the mechanism of transformation. This is the best part for us Geminis because Jupiter has already gone through Sagittarius. So you're opening up space for relationships that affirm your value while you're also transforming your attitude around who you are as an angelic being, ridding yourself of the limitations placed on you by this world and people who don't have your best interests at heart, and establishing more so the karmic element of your destiny through Aquarius season, preparing you for the subsequent retrogrades. We are going to have a retrograde during February, which will help you reevaluate as a Scorpio rising, how better to creatively express your talents with the influence of Neptune in your fifth. The last person I spoke to who had Neptune transiting their fifth, who was also a Gemini, by the way, actually showed me a painting of an alien she channeled, which was just so quintessential Neptune in the fifth, because it's like your inspiration draws upon otherworldly realms through your imagination. And this is where, following post-Saturn return, you really get to test the wheels on this bad boy. Before, you were driving with the chauffeur and yeah, you could drive, but it's not like it was really, really yours. And now it's really, really yours. So you're really going to come into this Saturn return lesson of instilling new facts, new theories, new ideas, serious conversations to be had, which is your realm as a Gemini, the third house, and really establishing attitudes that incorporate the development of other people's behaviors and beliefs. Because this also draws in the North Nodal aspect of Cancer here, which by the time we get into June, or rather the end of April, will shift into Gemini. And the focal point of destiny will be on your spirit. So I want you to think of the next 3 to 6 months as preparing you for this nodal shift. And as this energy goes from a Scorpio rising with Mars way beyond your rising, everything is clear. You're ready to really move forward like never before. I can tell by the posts you've shared, you're really picking up greater synchronicities. And what's very important with this process is that during Aquarius season, you're going to take these base observations about your transformation in Capricorn and really ascend your knowledge with private understanding that will align you closer to your destiny. So keep this in mind during this period, because what we have during Aquarius season is, of course, Uranus and Taurus. Definitely a date to keep in mind is going to be the 24th during the new moon, when this squares Uranus direct. And this is going to really have you take a much more advanced understanding of how the influence you exert in your relationships needs to be appreciated or at least acknowledged. Everything that you understand as a private level will be publicly acknowledged, for better or for worse, August. But the seeds are being sowed now, because after this post-Saturn return energy, you're going to realize more than ever that you might have been severely undermined for your experience and effect. Gemini is a magical effect, and you are like the crack of this magical effect. So the sun and moon in Aquarius is going to trine your sun and moon Gemini, and it's just going to enlighten you quantumly and cosmically to relevant knowledge that you'll ascertain at a private level as a Scorpio rising. Deep wisdom of this knowledge. And because the ruling planet of your chart is next to Saturn and Capricorn, this is going to facilitate deeper transformation. Leading into Pisces season now, that's going to take this a step further, while Mercury starts to reevaluate how much more you creatively express yourself, and really with the conjunction to Neptune, define so much more powerfully how you tap into this transcendent nature of your being. Mind you, Pisces season will square your Gemini sun. And so this is now introducing intuitive receptivity to make you more aware of how you deal with others. The 8th house, 5th house square are trust issues that inhibit your self-expression if you sense that certain people's motives aren't pure. But if you are able to streamline past that, it merges erotic and romantic love in order for you to deeply, more intimately connect with the right people. So just be very mindful of how you're inspired this whole week of March 12th with Venus on Uranus, which is still, as a Scorpio rising, your 7th house, going to also radicalize and make very eccentric the nature of relationships. Keep in mind, Venus is going to go retrograde in Gemini once we step into April and May. So this is a very important date to keep in mind, because this is going to be near your Mercury. You're going to be communicating these themes to people. You have Mars and Pisces. And by the time Mercury goes direct to now implement the changes of mind about how much more confidently you'll express what people don't see but you sense, this is going to make you more of a true messenger. And in hindsight, once Gemini gets this North Node, you're going to be saying, I told you so. And that's not even going to be like, you're not even that type of guy. Like, I don't think you want to rub it in people's faces. But, you know, if you don't do it directly, indirectly, that's what's going to be happening. So keep that in mind. Because, oh my God, I've been saying keep that in mind all day. Because this is definitely going to be a major facet, especially of these next 3 months moving ahead. Leading, of course, into Aries season, end of March, that with the conjunction to Chiron will express a boldness in how you actually live your lifestyle. This is going to be near your 6th house cusp using the equal sign system. So as a Scorpio rising, it's really transforming a lot more autonomy and independence with which you work, setting up for even greater self-employment positions and allowing you to really redefine, based on this transforming element of your Saturn return, how you want to live your goddamn life. And see, the purpose of these next 3 months is streamlining the magical abilities that you did not have access to before, which you will have access to now, which you're already starting to see emerge. And so this is why the next 3 months is reevaluating your whole life. It's like, I can do everything different now because the latent abilities that I had locked to me before my Saturn return are available to me. And as I complete this cycle, I now have so many years of exploration to decide what to do with this, especially as the North Node will come into Gemini. So I hope you really enjoyed this 3-month transit forecast. I rushed and breezed through this, true to our breezy Gemini nature, but this is not really about the details of the transits. I just really more wanted to give you focused themes each season will bring. Once we step more into Gemini through Virgo season, details will be relevant. Please keep in mind that you are in the 3rd chapter of your Jupiter transit since it went through Scorpio. And this is now taking this transformation of your being to incorporate the whole purpose of this is you can transform into a supreme angelic form. Let me even give you another angel physiology. Okay, you use the ability and powers of angels, right? User with this ability is or can transform into an angel, being connected to and serving higher powers. And this is a part of that link you can click. But look, limitations: may not be a true angel. You don't have that limit for angel soul because you are a true angel. True angel, okay? True being the keyword for Gemini moon, angel being Gemini sun. This is something that you hold even in comparison to other Geminis, where you purify the mainstreaming of how you connect. So Jupiter and Scorpio unlocked your ability to begin transforming into this form conceptually. Jupiter and Sagittarius manifested the value in freedom for you to understand this at a greater level. And now that it's in Capricorn, it's physically fleshing out this transformation for real, where you now manifest physical evidence of this, and you now start to incorporate greater attitude and ideas based off of this physical representation and manifestation. And it's going to even heat up more once we get into Aquarius. So keep that in mind. Every transit you're going through is based in relation to this emerging sense of attitude and ideas, more serious thoughts you're communicating as a Gemini sun and moon that deals with others truthfully and reveals the total truth to these individuals in the graceful ways that you do so. So please give me some feedback on this reading. Chiron slightly transiting your Venus is just going to put you in situations where you're comfortable expressing more courage, expressing your more raw desires, because this is all squaring your Cancer energy. So just be mindful of that. It's going to trigger slight insecurity when it comes to expressing your more mystical beliefs and bringing out more of your psychic potential as a result. And with Uranus so close to your DC, this is going to change the dynamic over the next coming years of the potential of relationships you attract and really just clear out all this energy. Mind you, I can't emphasize enough, this is a very pivotal environment and period for Geminis, sun and moon, because we're transforming forever out of the limitations placed on us. This is one zodiac sign that has been limited for a while. For ages, because, you know, people always kill the messenger. So to kind of come back into the original forms we've had, to really facilitate the recalling God is having for his angels, us, back into the judgment phase for Judgment Day, this is going to be awesome, or should I say amazing. And people are going to be mad jealous and super envious, and, you know, we're just going to rub it in their faces because screw them. And that's me being a little bit childish, but it is so much truth in what I just said. Other than that, so very glad to help you with this. Once again, the next 3 months out for you are bringing out the transformation quality of your progress and implementing these recent changes in your attitude, in your lifestyle, and your behavior. By the end of March, you're going to establish new lifestyle hacks that will manifest in a greater ascended level of spirituality by October. So just be very focused on where you're taking your life, but don't rush the process. Mars, that will be conjuncting this Capricorn energy, will have you act off of the released limits imposed by your Saturn that will prepare you to now really change the mode of how you directly act when it later subsequently retrogrades at the end of the year. You stay blessed as always, my friend. and my brother in Christ. And until next time, peace.